Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and start Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you going to give me a countdown?
Okay. You starting it?
Hold on. Okay.
Let's start it
3,
in
2, 1.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. See that 20th Century Fox logo?
Okay. With Tim here, I'm going to pee while you handle the crawl, George.
All right. I'm going to handle the crawl. Now, first you see the 20th Century Fox logo, which is like an old friend. Then we see Lucasfilm Limited. And then we see those a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And now the big important words. Star Wars. First they're big letters, and then the letters fly away into space like they're a spaceship. And you're thinking, is the title a spaceship? It's flying away from me, and I'm left floating in space. But then more letters start flying underneath you as if you're floating above them. And they're going much slower, almost like you could jump on them and maybe slowly fly across the galaxy. It says,
Do you want to go line by line,
Revenge of the Sith. Yes. War. The Republic is crumbling under attacks by the ruthless Sith Lord, Count Dooku. There are heroes on both sides. Ooh, President Trump said that about Nazis and people that were killed by Nazis. Evil is everywhere. In a stunning move, the fiendish droid leader, General Grievous, has swept into the Republic capital and kidnapped Chancellor Palpatine, leader of the Galactic Senate. As the separatist droid army attempts to flee the besieged capital with their valuable hostage, 2 Jedi Knights lead a desperate mission to rescue the captive Chancellor. And that's the opening crawl. Very exciting. We're going to enter into this in the middle of the action.
Can someone in the comments tell me what Max's question was? I should just say that in the comments. Sorry,
What's
George,
Max's
I apologize.
Okay.
I can't believe there's a couple of hundred people tuned in.
Watching this?
It's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Now look, we start off with a spaceship. Now already, if you've come to a Star Wars movie and you see a spaceship right at the beginning, you're like, well, what else did you expect? You can't go wrong now. We got spaceships. That's one of the things that people want.
Is that like in
Look
Jaws?
How cool this looks, Tim. Tell me, look how fast they're going. Look how fast they're going. Yeah. Yeah, Jaws is about a shark. If you saw a spaceship in Jaws, you might be disappointed. But if you see one in Star Wars, look how cool this looks. This is a battle. All these ships are flying around. Tell me you don't get a little bit of a thrill when you see this, Tim.
It's pretty amazing. I'm half chubbed.
I'm telling the story. Yep. I'm telling the story of how fast these ships can fly in space. And that's the whole story I'm telling right now. Zoom.
A question that I've always wondered about directors who do a lot of like digital effects stuff.
Right.
How much involvement do you even have in what's going on? Do you just kind of get a visual effects
involvement
team, buy some Red Bull, throw it at them and go, see you in 6 weeks, boys. There better be something cool for me.
No, I am right in there. I'm like, let's make this thing go fast. I want to see these ships go fast. Show me how fast they can go. And then they show them go zip and they zoom. Now look at these little spider robots that are flying around, and they are up to no good. These are some vicious little droids. And now the people who are flying the ships, the good guys, the heroes, they're doing their best.
That's one of our guys. That's Tim Morrison. It's from New Zealand.
Yeah. These are in the current moment. These would be the people, the healthcare workers, and the people who are working in the first responders, and the people who are keeping the food supply chains open. Those are the heroes. And right now, in the world of Star Wars, the heroes are flying fast spaceships.
Can I ask a question, George?
Of course.
Golden-plated standard call center headset that all the heroes seem to be wearing, is that a nod to the essential service workers of people in the call centers?
Hold on.
Watto's back.
I'm back. I got to say, I mean, you're pointing it out, Tim. You know, these essential workers, especially the people working in healthcare, they're wearing face masks for like 20, 30 hours straight as like a shift. They're stuck with this thing on their face.
All right, now I'm gonna.
And what that feels like to have something that you cannot take off your face for 30 continuous hours.
Speaking of, George
Here I
coming
go.
with the heat. What have you got
George!
there?
Here I go.
George!
That's right. That's right. Now I'm one of the heroes. Look at me.
Can you go in profile and go up to the camera? I want to see.
We got
this
him,
bad boy.
R2.
Oh, that's a nice bit of hardware.
Good.
That's getting me all chubbed
Now
up.
it's like I'm flying in a spaceship. You said that twice. Chubbed up. That's a penis reference. Is that a New Zealand expression?
That's correct, George. That's referring to a stiffy,
Phallus. That's phallus.
an erect
Right.
penis.
Now, look at all these little mischief droids that are causing trouble.
Is this where the Matrix got it from? Who stole from whom? Because this is just reminding me of Matrix Reloaded right now.
Hey, Tim, here's a basic rule of thumb. Everyone got everything from Star Wars. If you're
I
trying
see.
to figure out the chicken and the egg, even if you think a movie came
Right.
out before the movie you're watching, if it's Star Wars, it had the idea first.
Yeah, unless it's Kurosawa. If it's Kurosawa, then he came first. But everything else, if it's an exciting thing, I probably came up with it.
Absolutely.
Matrix, Adobe.
They're all over me,
A
Anakin.
comedy series about murders. It's all
Yep.
George.
All George, baby.
Now that's an interesting bit of foreshadowing because he says, "Hold on, Anakin, you're going to get us both killed." He's wrong. Neither of them will be killed.
Mm.
Not in this
Hey,
movie.
someone subscribed with Twitch Prime. That's good news.
Oh, wow.
Ooh,
Dr. Zoidberg
wow.
42.
What does that mean for us?
You get
Yeah.
revenue, right? Is that how Twitch works?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
I'm very new to this.
All right.
I say these little.
I love how fast. I love how fast they're going. I gotta say that.
I was going to say these little droids that are attacking the ships are kind of like the original minions. You know, they're little yellow,
Ooh, absolutely.
circle eyes. They're causing
Yeah.
trouble. They're up to no good.
Are you guys taking calls
Yeah.
on this
With
live
Gru.
stream?
No, I barely even checking the comments. I gotta focus on the movies and the guests.
Yeah, you're our call.
Look, he's making short work of these battle droids. And now get ready because R2 shows off some special skills in this film that he doesn't show off in any other film.
Oh yeah.
It'd be pretty thrilling to give just a typical Star Wars fan the opportunity to talk to the George Lucas, though, don't you think?
Right, you must be losing your
Yeah, that'd
mind.
be pretty thrilling.
As such a big fan of Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, the fact that you, Tim Batt, get to speak to George Lucas.
As you can see, Watto, I can barely sit still.
You're vibrating. Watch, Tim, watch things that R2-D2 is about to get up to. Because you think you know this R2-D2.
Yeah.
Oh, he rolls around. Oh, sometimes he sticks out a little thing and he hijacks it.
Oh.
He hacks into a system. But no, he's got a lot of other tricks up his sleeve.
General
I didn't
Grievous.
even know you could catch stuff.
Now, General Grievous, look at this. Now, this is important. General Grievous has COVID-19, and he's coughing on everyone.
He cannot
Oh,
stop
wow.
coughing. And he is not coughing in his armpit, in his elbow. He's not even coughing on his hand. He's just coughing out into the open.
And his face looks like a mask, but that's just his face. It's not a mask.
That's just his face.
Yeah.
He is your.
Sometimes people
coughing
ask. Yeah. I'm going to take this off now that they're
Okay, ready? Here we go. R2-D2, and he's getting sneaky, and he knows he's about to whoop some ass. R2-D2, legendary fighter.
R2. R2D2, you know, people ask why R2 does some things in this movie that he doesn't do in the later movies. And what I'd liken it to is, you know, sometimes you'll update your operating system on your computer. It'll make you update to a new, you know, Snow Leopard or something. And suddenly programs you've been using for years don't work anymore.
I knew you'd be a Mac guy, George.
And so at one point, yeah, and some people, at one point, I think R2 got an upgrade, and it meant someone wasn't carried over into the upgrade. And it may also be that some physical gears stop working at a certain point just because he's getting older. You know, when we meet R2D2, he's an old droid already.
So what's
some of the physical
right now? It looks like he's put his robot.
Well, right now, he's hooked into the system.
He's trying to control
he's operating other. Yeah, he's an elevator operator right now.
Oh, that's cool. Another nod to the essential workers.
Yeah. Right.
I like the idea.
Yeah,
of
right
being
now
able
he
to
could be a
control
character.
Systems with your penis. That's fun. Yeah. That's a fun idea.
Yes.
That's not his penis. His third leg is his penis. He has a middle leg that's retractable. It's huge.
That's his penis? Oh.
And that's his penis. Not that little. Now look, he's flying and shooting fire.
Wow. Now this is exciting.
And he. Yeah. And
I mean, now this is if you ask me.
Now get ready for some Star Wars.
Remember how George was saying that he didn't kill off Dooku in the last movie?
It's because it was all about this moment.
Is that guy Palpatine?
I couldn't waste such. That's right. That's Palpatine.
It's Senator Palpatine. He is an elected.
Yeah, he's just a senator.
He's
an elected official. He's a civil servant.
In a way,
you don't need to think about any. Yeah, you don't need to think about anything other than that he's just a civil servant doing his job, an elected official who has, some business dealings with some Jedi Knights.
That's the only
thing. The Chancellor. That's all.
That's all.
And here comes Dooku. Very important that we keep Dooku around.
Yes.
It wouldn't have been a good idea to sacrifice such an important character by having Yoda defeat him. He had to get away so he could fight these two Jedis. He says, I've been looking forward to this.
Anakin looks chill. He looks very relaxed about this all.
Yeah. He's in a good place right now. He's good friends with Obi-Wan.
Do you think he just nutted immediately before the scene?
I mean, look, an actor prepares. I don't question.
Anakin? No.
Whatever.
I mean, the character, not the actor.
Oh, the character? Yes, absolutely. Yes. I mean, this is a reveal. This is a thing you're about to find out. The Jedi is not supposed to know love, but Anakin is fucking getting it 7 ways to Sunday. I mean, this guy, he's getting messy.
Yeah. Oh, he's gotta.
He's gotta.
Did Patrick wake up and start the clock, or no? Jersey Dave did that because Patrick never woke up.
Patrick is still asleep.
Is Patrick okay? He's just asleep, right?
He's just doing.
No, he's asleep. He's better than any of us.
Could do. Yes.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he said, I'm going to go to sleep and wake up in time to set the clock for Revenge of the Sith, and then he went to sleep and never woke up again. And
George, we've just had a question in the comments from B. Sam from Australia. Wait, these space guys can do magic? Could you just really briefly explain the entirety of Star Wars up until this point?
They use the Force, which is kind of magical, but it's also magic that anybody can do. Not anybody can do it, but a lot of people can. And I just want to point out some really good acting by Christopher Lee. Both of his hands were just cut off in one fell swoop. And he looked down and he went,
that's what you do.
That's really good. That's really good because you would be shocked. It's not just one hand. He had both hands. He lost both hands in an instant. And at that point, I really thought that Dooku, in that moment, I told Christopher, I said, both your hands have been cut off. I want you to look surprised. I want you to look alarmed. I want you to look concerned. And I want you to think about the fact that without hands, you are at a disadvantage in this fight from here on out. You can't hold a lightsaber. You can't punch. You can kick. But do you really feel like you're that good at kicking? And I said, I don't think Dooku is a kicker. I don't think you've put time to really be confident in a kick. Because I think Dooku also has, I won't say back issues, but not a great back, and sort of the feeling that at any moment he could have back issues, if that makes sense.
That's a fun wrinkle to put in the Star Wars universe.
Kind of fighting.
That's a good bit of jeopardy. One guy might have back problems. Keep an eye on him.
Anybody could. He's older, and you get to a point where you start thinking, I don't have a back problem now, but that could change in an instant. And in the moment where he loses both his hands, I said, I don't want you to say this, but I want you to think it. I want you to think, my goodness, when I woke up this morning, this is not how I thought my day was going to go. Mm-hmm. I started this day assuming that I would end it with both of my hands. And instead, if I even make it to the end of this day, I'm looking at having neither of them. And I want to see this in an instant. And then I said, don't give him time. Roll camera now. And I looked down through the lens, and I saw Christopher Lee go. And I said, we've got it. Print it.
Wow.
And they said, what are you talking about? We're shooting this on a digital camera. I said, you know what I mean. Don't be a jerk. Something magical just happened.
I think George makes a very good point, which is most of us, we wake up in the morning and we go, I'd like to have both of my hands at the end of this day. And
I want to start.
The most realistic among us go, worst case scenario, I end the day with one last hand than I started. Maybe I end the day one hand down, one hand up, But Dooku loses both hands and loses his goddamn head.
Hey, get this guy away from the poker tables. Am I right?
I mean, he's losing hands so fast. Next, he's going to lose his house.
If anything, I think Dooku might be the kind of guy who thinks, by the end of today, maybe I have a third hand.
Oh.
Maybe I Dexter it.
He's a positive thinker.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a good approach to
life.
We've
missed a lot.
Ask how many hands will the day take from me?
Grievous is still coughing. Grievous is still coughing up a storm. Nobody listened to me. I put this character in here. People said, why would you create a new villain in the third movie whose primary behavior is a debilitating respiratory condition? He enters coughing, and he coughs through every single scene. And there were people who pushed back, not very hard, but gently. They said, George, do we want to ever have the character not coughing? And I said, why would we not have him coughing? That's his main thing he does.
What are you talking about? That's his raison d'etre.
That is his primary jam, so to speak. He is a cougher. And they said, coughing, this is what the doubters said. They said, coughing is not a good characteristic for a villain in a film. He should cough less. And some people thought maybe he shouldn't even cough at all. And I said, the coughing stays. In fact, I wanted to cough even more because you've just made me angry. And here we are in 2020, and coughing is one of the main sources through which this coronavirus is transmitted.
You took a lot of heat for the decisions you made on this trilogy, George, but you're having the last laugh. That's for sure.
No, because people.
I'm not laughing. I was ahead of the curve before. I was ahead of the curve. I was ahead of the curve before we flattened it.
There was no curve to even flatten yet. You were so far ahead of it. And people said to George, they said,
"That's right." They're like,
"Guy airborne pathogens, not scary, not on my radar.
Yeah.
But he proved them all
I
wrong.
said, just
Look
you
at
wait.
R2-D2 doing a little Swiss Army knife action. Everything coming out
Was
of
good.
them all at once.
Ooh. Look at him coughing.
Do you think
Now,
that members
this
of
is
the
a villain
Swiss
who is
Army
not.
are they modern day Jedis? Are they the closest we've got?
Yeah, probably. Yes.
No, because
Swiss soldiers.
Jedis aren't neutral. Jedis aren't neutral.
Oh,
Though.
I see.
Yeah.
Whoa,
And I don't
how's this
think
guy doing
Jedis,
things without a head?
Like, I don't think
What's
they
happening
would.
here?
He's a Magna Guard. He's a robot guard. And
Yeah.
the
Whoa.
robot's brains are not in the head, apparently. They're in his chest or something.
Or his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are your brains? And your ass?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very funny. I would change it to bottom.
Okay.
And
note.
just so it's family friendly.
And
And-
these are for kids, Tim.
Oh man, Grievous is, never forget the fact these are children's movies. Grievous shatters the windshield. That's a bold move, because that's being out in that atmosphere is not going to be good for that cough.
No.
Might
Like,
clear it
if
up.
anything, he's probably made his bronchial condition even worse. No, there's no way to clear it up. You think that's the answer to how to clear up a cough? Go out into space? It's freezing out there.
Has anyone tried it?
This is
Wow,
how,
you sound like the president of the United States.
and this is actually how you
Thank
know
you.
that Grievous is the villain, because they're saying, man, that cough is bad. Stay indoors on your spaceship. And he's going, no, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go
No.
out in the fresh air. The weather's nice. I'm going to go take a walk atop my ship. That's how you know he's a villain.
Yeah.
He's just a contrarian. And that's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
You know, do vaccines
No,
really
Grievous
work?
is bad
Who's
news.
to
I think
say? We may never know.
I think he's a bad. Oh, look at all these explosions!
I like what the spaceship's doing,
You
ripping
have to,
apart.
Tim. You have
It's
to
like
like
the Titanic.
this. You have to like
I love
this,
it.
right, Tim? You like this better than Attack of the Clones, Tim?
Yeah, this is better. I like this.
You like how it looks?
I love how it looks. It's very. What is the word I'm looking for? It looks like
Natural.
Armageddon right now, the movie, not the concept.
Not the thing we're going through.
I do think
Um,
No, correct.
George made a good point, which is if at any point you feel like you don't like what is happening on screen, Tim, that your natural reaction is, I don't think this is good. Remember that these movies are for children. So actually, if you don't like it, you're wrong. It was not made for you. And that's an airtight defense.
I see. Because you can't beat
Yeah.
up on a kid's movie.
If you watch this, well, if
So in
you
the
don't
opening
like it,
moments when a man
How
got
old are you?
decapitated, that's for the kids.
It's for kids. It's for the kids. Exactly. You get it now. Yes, it's for the kids.
that's for children.
Yes.
How old are you, Tim? Do you mind if I ask you?
I'm 15 3/4.
That can't be true, Tim. You're a sophisticated adult. How old are you really?
You're wearing a suit.
I'm two of those guys in a coat.
I don't buy-
I'm 30. I'm 33. I was born in 1987. How old does that make me? I think I'm 33.
I
Yeah.
think 33. Yes.
Yeah, 33. When's your birthday, Tim?
19th of August.
All right. Well, it looks like you're going to be having a party on Zoom.
In August? I don't know if you heard, but
Yeah,
New
that's my
Zealand's.
prediction.
No, we've nailed it. We've cracked it.
Yeah.
No one's getting in or out of the country, but we've kind of got our own. We're good
No,
now.
some stupid Tolkien fan from Idaho is going to come on vacation there, and
They're not allowed. They're not getting in.
They're going to be.
they're
sneaky
tricky,
like
and they're
Harold Grievous. They're
rugged
gonna-
individualists. They'll find a way.
Yeah.
Find a way. Some stupid Midwesterner who loves Tolkien is going to come wanting to tour Weta.
And much like Grievous, they're going to take their own ship, and when they land, they're going to get off the ship and go.
Oh man.
It's all about freedom to those dummies. And
Here,
now look, the fighting is over, but the friendship
the chat.
continues.
Cheers, my birthday.
Look at these two are friends, and let me ask you this: if you had to predict, they look pretty chummy, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
Best
here's
friends.
Jar Jar. Here's Jar Jar. Yeah. Look, you're going to see Jar Jar. What a great line of dialogue. They killed
Who's
Count
that
Dooku, but
guy?
General Grievous has escaped once again.
I think that's
Sam
Orange
Jackson.
Free Ta. I believe that's Senator Orange Free Ta.
This big fat guy?
Yes, and
Yeah.
He looks
Yeah,
like a
and that-
scrotum.
Weird Al Yankovic loaned us. He let us paint his costume from the music video Fat. He let us paint it blue.
It's big of him.
No lines for Jar Jar there, but he's walking through.
Is that Jar Jar's first appearance?
In this film, yes.
In this movie, yeah.
Oh, he's in the last one, huh?
Yeah.
Now, those two friends that you saw chatting before, did it look like either of them was going to cut off all the arms and legs of the other one?
Not to me, not to the untrained eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, now watch. A secret conversation behind a big pillar.
No one.
They're going to have this secret conversation. No one can see them behind the big pillar.
Perfectly hidden.
Oh, Anakin. And he's going to kiss her on the
This
neck.
is
He says, I
hiding?
miss you, Padme.
They're hiding.
Yeah, they're hiding behind that big
They're in
pillar.
the light. They're not
They're
even
like
in the
ninjas.
shade.
Ninjas.
Yes. And she's still got those Minnie Mouse ears. He's talking about the Outer Rim sieges.
Was it hard to
he
create
doesn't
a
care.
hairstyle that hasn't been around yet for women to come up with the layer jewel bun thing?
No, it's easy. I can do 10 more hairstyles a day.
Oh, please.
I'm a master
Name three.
of name three?
Yeah.
The Whippoorwill, the Plaza District, the Unopened Envelope, the Cold Sore,
Uh-huh.
and the Fairy Princess.
That's 5.
Yeah.
I'm captivated by was it the open plaza? How does
No,
that
the
look?
Plaza District and the Plaza
sorry.
District and the Unopened Envelope.
Plaza District.
Yeah.
You know,
Now
Tim,
these two love each other
they love each other.
and they're getting along really well. And you would never guess from the way they're interacting that she heard him talk about how he murdered a bunch of women and children when they were dating.
Yes.
Is that what he was just talking about moments ago?
He tends to bring it up.
Well,
Wow.
but that was before he put a ring on it. You know what I mean?
I see. We've all got
That's
our
a
secrets.
quote from a Beyonce song where she says, "If you like it, then you better put a ring on it. If you like it, better put a ring on it. If you like it, then you better put a ring on it. If you like it, then you better put a ring on it. If you like it, then you better put a ring on it." Do you know that song?
Yeah, who rules the world? Break It's Girls?
Beyonce.
It's that song though, right?
And she sings, oh, 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 oh.
I know that song pretty well actually because there's a rendition of it at the start of Sex and the City 2 performed by Liza Minnelli, which I've seen 60 times.
Wow.
Wow.
It's pretty fun
General
scene.
Grievous still
Still
coughing. General Grievous still coughing. Now he's on a
question.
video chat.
Well, yes, the original Zoom call. I have a serious question for Tim, George. You were sort of alluding to this earlier, Tim, but how does it feel to live in a country where your government has taken the proper measures to protect its citizens from a pandemic?
It's pretty novel. We're putting the novel in novel coronavirus. It feels different from being everywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
There's a lot of national pride going on, which is usually 2 words that scare the shit out of me. But this time I'll let them have it because I feel like we've earned it. Everyone just stuck to their guns and stayed indoors, and we're doing pretty well.
Right.
Not out of the woods completely yet, but
It sounds pretty fucking cool.
I think it probably helps that, like, imagine how your country would be if maybe like less than half of your population had voted for like one of the orcs from the Hobbit prequels to be your leader. Like the dumbest orc from the third Hobbit prequel. That's basically what America has at this point, which is
what was
a Batt.
I don't see a lot of news about whoever that is.
Our president.
Yeah, I saw there was an election. There was a lot of build up. I never saw the end.
Yeah. Right. Well,
do you want?
Let me just say.
Do you want spoiler?
It ends worse. It ends worse than the movie we're watching right now.
Yes.
Well, Natalie Portman's in this, so how bad can the film be? Realistically,
a national treasure. Truly.
What is up with you and crazy wipes for scene transitions, George?
It turns into 5 different cubes and then they all disappear.
Yeah. Now you can do that on Instagram stories.
You started that.
Yes.
It's a George Lucas trademark.
Yeah. Well, the first cut of this, I had a puppy face on her, and I was like, it's too whimsical. Lose that. Now, once again, we have a scene where someone got to go to sleep for a little while. Those are the hardest scenes to watch during this marathon.
Very jealous. Very jealous. And once again, we are only 5 hours and 32 minutes in.
I don't like seeing beds in Star Wars movies.
No.
Why? What's that
It makes me sleepy.
Oh, I see.
Well, because I made these movies during a period where I could go to sleep at night. I went to sleep at night throughout the making of all these movies. And now we're in a position for a good cause. We want to remind people that they can donate if they go to the GoFundMe for the UCB New York staff that have been laid off. This is a telethon. And you can click the link to the GoFundMe, and you can give a very small amount, or you can give a very big amount, depending on what your situation is. Maybe you have a very lucky life and you have a lot of access to dollars, or maybe you can pretend that you're just spending a very small amount of money on a thing that you need, and instead you'll give it to someone else. Whatever you need to do to justify it. Or you could not do anything, because sometimes people are we totally understand that everybody's in a tough situation right now, so don't feel bad especially if you can't do anything.
The worst. He's in the worst situation imaginable.
Hey, the fun's going pretty good. You guys are quite close.
What do you mean?
62,000 raised. I wanted them 70.
I wanted to raise it to 75,000 because this is technically our 75th George Lucas talk show, and I am 75 years old, so I thought that was a great number, but I don't think they've upped the goal. But that's what I'd like to hit. I'd love to hit 75,000. I don't know that we'll do it, but that's the dream.
I'm just doing the math here, and the average contribution across all the donors is $69. That is exactly what you want to see.
Very funny. That's very funny and very filthy. I think that if you can't afford to donate anything, but you have any kind of presence on social media, you could always tweet about the GoFundMe to tell other people, because who knows who might see it. And if we spread it around, if everybody in the world gave $1, then that would be billions of dollars.
That is how that works.
Now Yoda is talking to Anakin. He's kind of lecturing him a little bit.
I'm sorry. Who the man?
Yoda man.
Oh, thank you very much.
I was afraid I was going to screw it up, to be honest. Let's trip over punchlines.
No pressure.
How old is Yoda? Is this a question everyone asks? Does anyone know? Is it unknown?
He's pretty old.
He's
pretty old.
So old.
What a moody scene that you've achieved through lighting, George. It's very impressive what you've done with the Venetian blinds behind them. And that fucking wipe again, dude. We've got to get a little bit more transition vocabulary into your brain, because you can't just insert the same goofy-ass 80s VHS pornography wipe to get from scene A to B every time. We need a little more variety. A match cut, a dolly zoom, some other stuff. Just a hard cut. Maybe a C cut, maybe a D cut. Bring the sound in first.
Tim.
Confuse us a little. Yeah.
Tim, when you're done, I have a word for you.
I'm done.
How dare you? How dare you? Do you have the Criterion Channel app in your country, Tim?
I literally don't know what you're talking about.
Do you know what the Criterion Collection is, Tim?
No, George.
It's a collection of some of the finest works of cinema of all time. And in that collection, they include many of the films of one Mr. Akira Kurosawa. Have you seen The Hidden Fortress, Tim?
I've not.
All right.
Has it got a lot of wipes in it, George?
It's got more wipes than those bears in those commercials for wipes.
Wow.
I don't know if you get those in New Zealand. Do you get those in New Zealand?
We've got our own version. I know what you're getting at.
What's your version of Cottonelle? What's your version of Cottonelle, Tim?
The bunnies, because I think bunnies are soft. Yeah, rabbits.
Like bunnies.
And what's the brand name?
Cottonelle.
What's the brand name called?
We've got Cottonelle. We've got one's called Toughies or something.
Well, Toughies, yeah. Well, Hidden Fortress has got more wipes than Cottonelle, Tim. That's how many wipes it's got.
Fuck, I just got
think carefully
by George Lucas.
A wipe transition. Yeah. If your opinion about my editing style was a film, I'd need more wipes, because I think your opinion is shit.
Wow, this is the first time I've heard you swear on this. Finally got a rise out of the guy.
Right, because you've pushed me, because it's 5:40 in the morning. Oh, which means we're gearing up on 5:38, 5:39.
Yep.
Which means it's time once again to remind people to tweet at Disney Plus, to beg Disney Plus to release Star Wars Detours, the animated series that George Lucas, myself, produced independently. 39 animated episodes of Star Wars comedy, an array of voice talents. And all we want is for Disney Plus to just release them. Onto their streaming service. Because people are at home, want to watch stuff, and Disney has 39 episodes of Star Wars that is unseen. From executive producer George Lucas. Unseen Star Wars. Imagine sitting on 39 episodes of an animated Star Wars show by George Lucas. All of the people involved in the making of this believe it will never be released. But I believe something else. I believe it will be released within the next 24 hours. If we, as a united front, will agree to let our voices be heard, use social media as a powerful voice for good. We're doing this live stream for charity, and that's to help the workers at UCB New York who've been laid off. But we can walk and chew gum. We can do two things. And one of those things can be telling Disney Plus that we want to see Detours. We want to see it so much. We want to laugh. We want to see our friends, our Star Wars friends, and we want to see them being silly and telling jokes and having fun. Mad Magazine recently stopped existing. It stopped being a publication. We are losing our sources.
Stopped existing. R.I.P.
We are losing our sources of laughter.
Very soon there will
whimsy.
be zero jokes left. They're trying to cancel the
and all we're asking is please, please, you don't have to like it. You just have to release it. You can even tell people we didn't want to, but we did it anyway. And that's all we ask. So tweet at Disney Plus. May detours be with you. What can I say? All I can do is ask 30 times. And if that doesn't get the message across, then, well, I don't know what will.
I mean,
Because when I watch a Star Wars movie,
it's getting very close. It's getting.
I don't know.
Close. But I mean,
so close. And these are still.
No, I was going to say
these are not prime hours.
There's a new podcast episode every single week. Imagine if you decide to record 39 and tell people that you had 39 ready to go, and then Disney stole them and said, no, you never get to hear them.
I'd be devastated. Yeah. I don't know how I could go on. Do you think that's what happened to Jeffrey Epstein and that's what made him so sad?
Yes, he had so many episodes of his own comical animated TV show ready to go, and Disney wouldn't release them, and that's why, he ended things.
I guess shame on both of them.
Shame on a way. Shame on everyone.
Both sides are to blame.
You know what I see? I'm looking right now at Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. You know what I'm seeing?
What?
I'm seeing people, like in all Star Wars movies, what do we see? We see people trying their best.
Yes.
Some of them succeed, some of them fail, but they're all trying their best.
They're good people on both sides.
And that's all.
Good people on both sides.
And that's all we can ask for, is for people to try their best.
Yes.
And a lot of the people in this movie are very sad. What if the democracy we thought? Oh, I missed whatever she was saying. She was talking about democracy. Oh. I don't. Here's what I think. I think that Amidala and Anakin. I think they're kind of a bummer as a couple.
Like a regular Ross and Rachel.
It's a really good sign if 5 hours and 43 minutes in, you're already reaching for the name Anakin. That's a really good sign of what's to come.
Oh, this seems so romantic.
Let me back in 24 hours from now.
Absolutely.
Because
you want to come back in for Rise of Skywalker, see how this story ends?
I'm just so excited to see what state or form you exist in at that point.
You are cordially invited back 24 hours from now.
Do you have a treadmill or anything? Is there any facility for you to do exercise and get the blood pumping while you're doing the stream?
It's a great question, Tim. In fact, just today, I'm supposed to have a foldable exercise bike delivered to my apartment. So at some point in the next 24 hours, I'm going to have to receive that package.
That's phenomenal. And then build it, presumably.
I really don't want to do that on camera. I think
you should.
You say that now. Much
eating
you say that now, but you might feel differently.
We'll see. My priority.
You don't know what you're going to feel like when it actually arrives.
My Lego Fast and Furious set on camera.
It's really cool.
I'd like to build that. That's the thing I want to build.
Oh. I can't believe I'm already tired.
I know.
I can't believe it either, George. But I'm proud of you. And I want to tell you, as someone who has made a habit of consuming cinema in a way that is less enjoying the film and more enduring the film, there's artistry to what you're doing. There's a performative aspect to this method of watching movies. And at the end of the day, everyone can suck your dick because you're George Lucas, baby. You could fall asleep on cam and it wouldn't be okay, but you're still George Lucas.
Well, I'm going to eat some banana bread.
Sounds like the appropriate response to what I just said.
Can I share something absolutely demented with you guys?
Please.
Yeah.
I specifically went out to the grocery store before this began, and I bought Folgers instant coffee, like the coffee crystals,
Yeah.
because I had heard that if you just eat coffee crystals by the spoonful, it's a faster delivery system for caffeine.
Oh my God. Watto. No.
It's an emergency. I'm keeping it by my side in case of emergency.
This doesn't seem like a good idea at all.
It's an emergency.
I'm thinking, but I mean, bananas are great.
I love bananas.
Bananas are good, quick store of energy.
Sure.
George has got the right idea. But just mainlining crystallized instant coffee, I don't know if that's the way to get this done.
In case of emergency.
I see. Okay. You staying hydrated though, Watto? You drinking a lot of water over there?
I got drinking water out of my own water.
Here we go. That's pretty nifty.
Water for water.
Where'd you get that?
Taco Bell.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
You know what I like
people
about
want
this
on
movie?
camera. What's
What?
that?
Can I tell you what I like about this movie?
Wish you would.
These movies are for children, but right now, Palpatine's talking about the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise,
Yes.
and Anakin's intrigued, and he says it's not a story that the Jedi would tell you, but I'm going to tell you the story. It's a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis was a Dark Lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise that he could use the Force to influence the midi-chlorians to create life. This is a big bombshell. He had such a knowledge of the dark side, he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying.
Why did he deliver it like that? From dying.
And then Anakin says he could actually save people from death.
Well, let me play
Palpatine.
Anakin. You do the Palpatine lines. Let me
Okay,
do it.
the dark side of the Force, it can be, some people consider it to be unnatural.
Okay, ready.
He became so powerful.
What happened to him?
The only thing he was afraid of was losing his power, which eventually, of course, he did. Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew. Then his apprentice killed him in sleep. Oh, there it is again, the mention of sleep. I never knew that I wrote so much sleep into these movies. From death, but not himself. Anakin's thinking about it.
George, have you got peers?
Yeah, my buddy Steve.
What about Frankie Coppola? Have you ever heard of Frankie Coppola? FF Coppola?
Yeah, he was a mentor.
Fingers.
Wait, did you ask were you asking? I don't know your New Zealand accent. I don't know if you were asking if I have peers or if you're asking if I have pairs.
Now, here's an interesting thing. Is that not literally a homophone? Is it not said the same way in both words?
Pairs and peers?
Oh, you do say it. In New Zealand, we say the exact same.
Wow.
The exact same.
Something. Peer. My colleague of the same age.
Were you? Yeah.
I was asking about the fruit, though.
Francis was more of a mentor, but then when he couldn't get Tucker, the man in his dream, made, I swooped in.
Yeah.
And I got it made for him.
Yeah.
And here's a fun thing, because he took Apocalypse Now from me. That was supposed to be my movie, and then he made it.
Wow.
But then by the time Tucker, the man in his dream, rolled around, I was more powerful than him. And so I gave him notes on how to make the movie. The pupil had become a master.
Oh, that's Tim Weir Morrison. I'd know that voice
can I just
anywhere.
say the top two? He's all these troopers. They're all clones of him. I went on Twitter
Look at all
quickly,
these
and the top two
Wookiees.
trending topics on Twitter are Rise of Skywalker and Skywalker Saga. So it seems like our live stream is trending. I have to imagine that we have single-handedly helped the Star Wars movies trend on Twitter.
Well, these are some
Well-
pretty niche movies that you guys are highlighting this evening.
These are cult films for children. They're just little children.
Cult war films for children.
This is just a little children's movie.
Just little war films for children.
That's all these are, is little war films for children.
Tim, you like these Wookiees, Tim?
I tell you what I don't like, and that's the fucking wipe, man. Every single time. Just when you think you've had enough wipes in the film, here's another one, because we've got to go to another scene.
That's the
I wonder
way.
if I could do a
that's
wipe.
the way we transition from scene to scene.
Or are you going to try to... Tim's trying to wipe. Oh, my God. Tim just wiped himself out of
He wasn't strong enough. He wasn't strong enough. He destroyed himself.
He wasn't...
Did Tim leave? Tim's gone because he tried to wipe himself.
I think it was the ultimate wipe. Well, I guess we'll see.
I wonder if he'll come back.
24 hours.
Well,
Yeah, he's still here. He's going in and out, I think.
Oh, no. These wipes are dangerous. There we go.
Yeah, I'm here.
Tim,
Good wipe.
you have the hubris of a young Anakin Skywalker. We had the higher ground.
Oh, it's not really a wipe. It's more of a squeeze. Oh, that's a wipe.
No,
Oh,
that's
a
good.
squeeze.
Look at this, George.
That's a lot. No,
Okay, that's a
I
wipe.
like it.
How do I get that going?
That was great.
But I never wiped in the same scene, though.
Yeah, that's true. Do you want me to wipe to something else?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a sec.
Okay, I can't wait to see. Where did
Yeah.
cinematic language evolve in real time?
This film's exciting.
Yes.
It's thrilling. It's pushing. There's a lot of political things happening. There's a lot of personal things happening. Because
Yes.
as we know, and as these films have taught us, the political and the personal are not so far apart.
Yes.
One often drives the other. Uh-oh, more nightmares. More nightmares. More visions of a dark future. Mm.
I don't know if you feel
And there's
this,
Anakin sitting on a sofa.
my bones are starting to hurt.
Oh, you sound like you're quoting the line from The Phantom Menace. Oh, my bones are aching.
Oh, my bones are aching. It's true, though. It stopped being a funny reference and started to become the truth.
You know, here's an interesting thing that never happens in a Star Wars movie. Lots of people have furniture, but you never see anyone buying furniture or selling furniture.
Very true.
But Anakin and Padme have a sofa.
Yes.
Was it there when they moved in,
Who
or
knows?
did they pick it out?
Who knows?
Because if I had force powers, I wouldn't pay to have a sofa delivered.
No.
I would use the force to just
You'd go like
deliver
this.
it myself.
That's what you would do with your brain. You go like that.
Boom,
Save a
boom.
lot of money on
Vroom.
movers. If
Vroom.
you have force, I tell you that much. You save a lot of money on movers.
Yeah. If you're a sofa salesman in Coruscant, you must kind of hate it when you see a Jedi walk in, because you think, well, heck, I'm not going to make anything off the delivery. It's just going to be a straight sale.
Yes.
Because this guy's not going to want to pay to have it delivered. He's just going to raise it up, bring it out, put it up there. Vroom, 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 vroom.
Whoa! Did you see that, George?
Okay, so now we're at a different scene.
Yeah.
And now we're back to this scene.
Yeah,
Look at these wipes.
that's really good. Great wipes.
Incredible.
Now you see how fun it is.
Yeah, I see.
Tim, it's addictive, right? Once you've done it once, you want to do it a bunch of times.
I want to go the other way. Oh, no,
Wow.
that's no good.
Wow.
Ooh.
This.
Unbelievable.
Oh.
Oh, that's a Star Wars
Oh.
one. Look at that.
Wow, look at that wipe.
Yeah.
That's a real Star Wars.
Ooh. How do I do that? I don't know how to do that.
I got a bunch of
I don't
crazy
think I'm able to
stuff
do
going
that.
on here. Whoa,
This guy's got a
movie.
weird foldy face.
This
This
guy,
foldy face. He has a face that has all these little folds in it.
his name is Tian Midan, and he is played by Bruce Spence from The Road Warrior and Beyond Thunderdome.
Oh boy. Well,
I'm worried about you, George,
he's a pretty. Why?
because you're yawning at 5 hours into a 30-hour film marathon, my man.
I'm 1/6 of the way into it.
Oh no, is this hour? You're at 6 hours now.
Just about.
Tremendous. Proud of you.
See, that's
6
that's
hours
the
in.
difference is that you
So
view
we only have to do this 4 more times.
yeah, you view the glass as 5/6
Right?
empty. George views it as 1/6 full.
That's how you get a movie.
We
made.
only have to do it. We only have to do this 4 more times, right?
Yeah. No.
Easy.
Well, at the risk of being a real jerk, I might go to bed.
What?
Hey, please do. Please.
Ooh.
Not before a couple more of these beautiful Star Wars wipes, though.
Those are
Yeah. Those are great wipes. Your wipes look so good, Tim. Tim, tell me you've changed your mind about wipes now that you've done them.
I'm a changed man. You've convinced me. Wipes of the future in the past and the present.
Tim,
There we
that's music to my ears, Tim. I'm sorry that I had to be kind of hard on you before, but you
I
brought the
deserved
heat,
it.
and I bring it right back.
it was the only way for you to learn.
Yeah. No, I respect it. Sometimes tough love is the only way through.
I want to tell you this, Tim.
Yeah.
I hope you'll come back 24 hours from now
Yeah.
and say hello to us.
Let me put it in my calendar.
Great.
I really mean that.
Oh, that'll actually be just after I do my live stream, so that'll be perfect. It'll be perfect.
Ideal.
I like your accent, Tim. I think it's good. Ooh,
Thanks, George.
Grievous is here. You got to stick around just to see. Wait, when you stop talking to us, you're going to keep watching the movies, right?
Yeah. I'll be watching all of them.
All right. Because that's what I want you to at least see what happens to General Grievous.
Yeah, okay.
I know-
Where's he coming?
Here he is. He's fighting.
Well,
Oh, Coffee
there's
Man.
a big fight. There's a big fight now. Grievous says back away. Coffee Man for him. Although that's gonna be Watto's nickname once he starts mainlining those crystals.
Damn right. So is his cough gone now? Is
Those
he cleared up?
Folgers.
No, he's gonna keep coughing.
No, coughing. He's coughing. He's
Can I-
coughing now. And
can
he's
I
got 4
point out-
lightsabers.
I'm sorry to disrupt here. Can I point out, did you guys see the comment from Chris Gethard? Can we have that back on the screen? Chris Gethard at 6 a.m. saying, I guess my whole thing is that if you aren't doing The Mandalorian or any of the cartoons or reading any of the canon comic books as part of this, it's kind of cowardly. Chris Geth is calling us cowards. Come
I
debate
feel
us
attacked.
in the public sphere, Chris Gethard. Come on the stream and fight us.
Oh, hey, can I describe something that wasn't cowardly in the form of a plug?
Please.
Sure.
I made a pilot of a TV version of the podcast that I do with my friend Guy, where we stayed in a sewer in New York City underground for a week, watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles out of the shadows 3 times a day so that we could method film review the movie. And it's been sitting in legal limbo for a couple of years, but we finally were able to put it on YouTube, ironically. They did not greenlight a series. It's too weird for them. But it's quite good.
It's
People are loving it.
It's a great pilot. I watched it. I loved
It's a great plug.
And you get it. I mean, it's very much like Detours. You had this thing you had completed that you couldn't show to the world, and you finally got it released.
It is like Detours, but I managed to smuggle it out.
Well, give George time; he'll figure it out. But it's a great pilot. I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, and Han Solo was a great pilot, and he was a smuggler too. So I appreciate the tribute.
Thank you, George. That means a lot. It means an awful lot.
I wish I could say I'm watching it today, but I'm going to be watching this. I'm going to be watching this for a little while and then taking a little break from watching anything.
Yeah.
Actually, before I go, George,
but Tim, it's been so nice having you.
Well, hold on. What's your plan after this wraps up? What are you going to do? Going to get some tacos?
I'm going to sleep. Get to working on my museum.
Nice. What about you, Watto? Same deal?
I honestly, I've been trying to be respectful. I'm trying to maintain social distancing. But honestly, I feel like when this is done, I got to go get laid. Watto's going to hit down and search for some strange. Because, God, this is really hammering home the loneliness of my life right now.
I think human contact will be the perfect panacea for this endurance.
Sure, human. I'm fine with human. I'll take human, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not discriminating. I'll take anything at this point, Toydarian, Nemoidian, Gungan.
Hey, guys, we got some guests.
Oh, we got some guests.
Bring them on in.
Ooh.
Tim, thank you very much for your service. We'll see you
Tim, so nice. So nice to see you, Tim.
Oh, my God.
Here we have JD Amato and Chris Gethard and son. And what could be more appropriate when watching the Star Wars series to see a father and son? Because that's so much of this is about fathers and sons.
Caleb Gethard in the live stream.
Now, I guess I just woke up and I said to Cal, I was all excited. I said, I want to show you what some heroes look like. And then I get in here and I find out you're not doing the Mandalorian, you're not doing the Ewoks cartoon, the Droids cartoon, let alone the Clone Wars or Rebels cartoons, or reading any of the canon.
No.
It's
live action movies, live action feature films. That's the brief this year.
I just want you to know. It was one of the first times I had to.
There's only so many hours in the day, Chris. I realize that you're in a parenting to the more childish parts of the oeuvre. And that's fine. That's where you're at right now. You want to see some cartoons. You want to see a baby Yoda. But right now we're dealing with the fall of the Republic and the death of democracy.
Watto, I just want to know what you think about letting this person down.
I think it's a great idea. I think you're forming some really strong memories for your son right now. I feel like
Chris.
Say JT.
Good. Hey, Chris, which of the Ewok movies did you show Cal first? Was it Caravan of Courage or Great Ewok Adventure?
I actually went second first because it has that little speed.
No, Battle for Endor.
The second
Battle
one,
for Endor,
man. I want him to be fast when he grows up, so I showed him the Speed Demon Man.
Yeah, got it.
I feel like
that's Battle for Endor with Wilford.
I've heard you, Gethard, talk about on podcasts, like, how will I introduce Star Wars to my son?
Yes.
What should the entry point be?
This
now functioning as the entry point? Is this his first exposure to Star Wars?
Yes, Watto, you are probably, I think, the first Star Wars character he's actually coming to know.
Hello, nice to meet you, Cal.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. Well,
right now
I probably shouldn't have my son as part of this.
I want to ask one point of clarification before you log off, Gethard.
Yeah.
When you're calling us cowards, are you truly suggesting that we read comic books on a live stream?
Yes.
Okay.
And you can get Marvel Unlimited and actually read them. You don't need the physical comics these days.
Sure. But
But
you
the
want us
Darth Vader-
to sit in front of a camera and read some comic books.
The Darth Vader comic books, the Lando comic books are incredible.
Dr. Afra.
I would say there's nothing more dystopian than seeing the blue light reflected off of your son's eyes of Watto's iridescent skin at 6 a.m. in the middle of a pandemic. And
Now, JD, why are you up at 6? I mean, I'm up at 6 a.m. because of him. Why are you awake right now?
Patrick was trying to fill in the gaps of when people weren't arriving, and so he gave me a time slot that to come check in on the retired filmmaker George Lucas and Watto.
Does it make you mad to realize that I'm actually awake right at the time where you could be sleeping?
Well, my sleep schedule is completely messed up these days. So the fact that I've slept for 2.5, 3 hours this is actually probably going to help reset and regenerate my sleep cycle, I think. So I'm actually happy.
Much like you're going into a back to tank.
Yes, exactly. This is in a lot of ways my back to tank.
Now, George and Watto, do you like that JD?
One of the things,
because it gives you guys a momentary break to not have to speak out loud.
Absolutely. And also to this point, JD mentioned that Patrick had asked him to come on the stream in order to fill in some gas. And it's a good time to remind anyone tuning in that Patrick was supposed to wake up about an hour and a half ago. Is that fair to say? He said he was going to take a very brief nap and would rejoin us. And he is just sleeping. He's just rubbing it in our faces. He is on camera. We cut off his stream, but he is still sleeping on camera right now.
he's a coward.
He's a coward.
It's been nearly 2.5 minutes. Or 2.5 hours.
He's been asleep for 2.5 hours?
Really?
I mean, we're approaching that, yeah.
Yeah.
Coward caught.
Yeah.
So, Chris, which bounty hunter is Cal's favorite?
It's a good question. It's a real good question.
Which bounty hunter was Cal's first word?
His first word was actually Bosk. Yeah, his first word was Bosk.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
He's starting to master D's, and first I thought he was saying daddy, but I'm almost certain he's actually trying to say Dengar at this point.
Wait a second. Chris, are you saying your child at an infant age, his first word was Bosk?
His first word was Bosk. Yeah.
So in other words, he was the Bosk baby?
This is only 6 hours in. This is only 6 hours in, and that seems your eyes.
This is
the Bosk
not
baby.
far at all.
The Bosk baby.
Now, I think it's worth bringing this up just because when else would be this worth bringing up? But Chris and I once got into an argument about Chris's assertion that every Star Wars characters, when you dive deeper into the lore behind them, it's more interesting. And I contended that Dengar was a great example if that was not the case.
Dengar's deep dive is great. We did get in a fight about that, though. I forgot.
Yeah, there's Dengar.
Now, I thought that George Lucas was setting up that Bosk to fill his camera so he could like get up and use the bathroom or brush his teeth or something. But no, George, you're just doing that.
It would also line up with George's mental state right now, I think, if he thought that he could get away with a Ferris Bueller style prank using a 6-inch Bosk figurine.
Yes. If he rigged that Bosk figure up on an elaborate police and dumb waiters.
Yeah, that we would fall for it, but no such chance.
Wow.
No, well, I'm not going to miss out on a minute of Revenge of the Sith.
Oh no. Where'd Watto go?
Now, Chris, I don't know. Chris, now, do you have Disney Plus queued up? Are you watching Revenge of the Sith right now?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Sam, I have it right here too.
Yeah,
You don't need a.
It's great.
Well, no, we're at 1 hour and 9 minutes into it. I will say one thing that has been illuminating about watching these first few films is I hadn't realized how many references to sleep and to dreams and to going to bed. How many times I showed characters either in bed sleeping or getting out of bed. When you start to get tired, you notice the different themes that you weren't necessarily aware of, and there are just a lot of times when these characters are able to go to bed, go to sleep, wake up, go back to bed. It's a solid 3% of the original prequel trilogy is people in bed going to sleep.
George, what's your normal sleep schedule?
Just normal human sleep. Normal human sleep.
You said that with the sorrow that
This guy's starting to be a squirmer. He's wearing pajamas too. I don't know if that makes you mad, George, or like grim.
Oh, he's smiling. He's having a good time because these movies are for kids. Now I know that you're Revenge of the Sith on Disney Plus because I see a child's smiling face,
Now
having fun, enjoying, watching the way that these systems are collapsing due to various characters' lust for power.
Now I know. I just want to.
He really likes it.
I really do have to go. I should not have this kid on camera. I don't feel safe about it, but I do want to just say I don't know if you guys know my friend Griffin Newman. This is
the safest. This is the safest stream you could have him on.
I don't think that's true.
I've never heard of Griffin Newman. What were you about to say? And before you say it, just know right now on screen the Jedi Wrecking Crew has entered. Kit Fisto, Plo Koon, Mace Windu. They're here.
Did you hear that? Kit Fisto's here. It's Kit Fisto time. Kit Fisto's the best. Time. He just they'll make you smile. But I don't know if you guys know this guy Griffin Newman. He's kind of known as sort of like a B- David Sims.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But this guy Griffin Newman, he actually got my son a Kit Fisto onesie, and that was really a much appreciated thing.
Sounds like a pretty considerate gift.
It was pretty awesome.
I'll say this. Looking at the way that Chancellor Palpatine just sprung into action, it reminds me of he's one of the more at-risk characters in the current pandemic. Being of that age, but if you press him, he will fight for his freedom. He will fight for that power. Oh, another window broken.
That's a good illustrative point, George. Thank you for bringing that up.
And delivered in such a calming, soothing tone.
What about it?
Yeah, it seems like you're really tied into the energy and situation of the moment, and not in your own world entirely.
Well, JD, if you come on this just to bring sarcasm, I can get that from Watto.
Well, I mean, something that's interesting is, so I have a friend, Connor Ratliff, that I do a 12-hour podcast with.
Never heard.
Some people have actually said this is sort of a ripoff of their idea.
No, listen, endurance viewing stuff is fine, but something that it reminds me of that I think is interesting is, I like that. A child's laugh can inject energy into any moment, and George, I saw your eyes light up because that's with strange magic, all that you've been after for the past. That's a great laugh.
No, my eyes.
He's laughing.
My eyes lighting up is just a reflection of the
currently transforming Palpatine into a wrinkled old man.
Yeah, that's funny, right, buddy?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
My eyes lighting up was just a reflection of the dark side energy bolts.
All right. I gotta go change this guy's diaper. Have fun, JD.
Good to see you, Chris.
I'll see Watto and George. I think I'll keep checking in with you throughout the day.
Cool.
What time
all right, it'll be good to see you again.
What time do we wrap up? About 5 hours from now?
A little over a day from now.
Over 24 hours, Watto.
Yes.
Yeah.
You said 5
Yes,
hours.
over 24 hours.
I said
You said-
25. 25.
25. I couldn't. I'm sorry. I couldn't.
25 hours.
Around.
And Watto, I just had to ask. I mean, it would be weird to ask because that is just your nose. So of course it's been on since midnight.
Yes.
I'm just checking. Has that been on since?
Absolutely.
And you'll be keeping your nose on. Obviously, I mean, it's just your nose. You can't take it
Absolutely.
off.
Yes. I mean, yes, you're asking a dumb question, but to be clear, yes, my nose will be staying on my
We'll
face
ask that
where
question.
it belongs.
25 more hours.
Here's how offensive that question is. You would never ask that question of me, but you'd ask it of him. You'd ask it of a Toydarian.
And that's
So check
actually
your prejudices.
and that's actually offensive.
All right, I'll go do some soul searching on that and check in with you guys later.
Okay. And let me say one final thing to you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Bosk, baby.
Ew, Cal, say ew.
The
Say
Bosk,
ew.
baby.
Oh no. Say ew. Say ew.
The Bosk,
Oh no.
baby.
The Bosk, baby.
The Bosk, baby.
The Bosk,
The
baby.
Bosk, baby.
Enjoy holding this one together, man.
Yeah, we'll do. See you, Cal. See you, Chris.
All right. JD, now what was your point about your podcast?
So I do a podcast with my friend Connor Ratliff. And,
Never heard of it.
Right.
When I heard you were doing this, it reminded me of my friend Connor because I think, we record our podcast on normal daylight hours, yet still every, I would say, 5 hours, you can sort of feel Connor's bulb dim a little bit. And that's during normal daylight hours.
Oh, wait, I know about this. I know. Right, yeah. No, I know about this. No, that Dead Eyes. The episodes aren't that long.
No, this is 12-Hour Day. It's a podcast that actually he did before he did Dead Eyes, but it's just so top-heavy to produce that he does them in far less. It had some buzz back when a few years ago, but now it's more of a time capsule.
It got written up in Wired magazine or something.
Not.
Yeah, I believe Wired did a profile
Wired
on it.
didn't do a piece on it quite yet, but here's to hoping.
Oh, did Tired do a profile on it?
No. Those words are similar, though. That is a good point.
No, but isn't that a meme that people do where they wired, tired, and what's the other one?
Inspired.
Wired, tired, and fired.
Inspired.
Inspired.
Inspired. Which.
It would be great if there was a Tired magazine that wrote about 12-Hour Day.
Yeah, exactly. George, how are you feeling right now?
I feel fine. I'm a 75-year-old man who's made a lot of good decisions.
That's great. And Watto, how are you feeling?
I feel wild, baby.
Watto, just piggybacking off of Chris's question about your anatomy, do you ever get chafing around your nose or a sort of discomfort around your nose?
I'm feeling a lot of generalized discomfort right now. If anything is helping me get through this, is that there are so many different places.
Stimuli? Yeah.
Yes. That it's they all kind of balance each other out. Hypothetically.
Oh, balance.
There may
balance. Balance. That's it.
George, you're grasping at the farthest straws possible.
Balance. Balance of the force.
Now, another question, Watto, just about your anatomy is, your computers have to be chugging along at this point, the little heaters.
Yes. Very overheated.
Got it. Yeah, that makes.
We are more than halfway through Revenge of the Sith.
I know. I have it up here.
We did a test. We did a technical test right before the live stream started to figure out the highest setting Watto's air conditioner could be on without it making too much noise to register on the live stream.
Got it.
And that's where we are right now, which is just enough to survive.
But, your skin is an added layer.
Absolutely.
That is... I can't imagine your skin was built for this environment for you to be in.
Look, I
for
don't
this amount of time.
Sure, I don't want to get graphic. I think Watto is going to have some major cosmetic breakouts around Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, got
I
it.
think you're going to start to see the real long tail repercussions.
And George, you've worked in cinema for a while, so I had a question for you just about the behind the scenes movie making process.
Yeah.
I was wondering. Now I know you didn't use makeup in your later films as much, and you allowed the digital work to do a lot of that. But
good joke.
Let's say I'm making a movie and I have some sort of like cheap spray on hair dye or something like that. Something that I'm just using to like slightly alter the color of what I'm doing. Do you think after 30 hours that'll start to form some sort of rash or irritant to my scalp if I were going to put that on?
I don't think so. Did you use? Is that how you colored?
Yeah, that's
mustache?
how I colored that mustache. Yeah. Yes, that's good. That's good. You've really risen to the moment there to burn me.
Right. Right. JD, in all seriousness, what's it like being under house arrest?
Yeah, I'm not under. I'm not personally under house arrest. I know that you, George Lucas, since you are a extremely wealthy man in his 70s, believe that the COVID-19 crisis is a conspiracy by the mainstream media. But no, I'm not under house arrest. I'm just quarantining like a responsible citizen here in my community.
Right. What are those trophies on your wall behind you?
Trophies. George, you're really just you've lost some semblance of the thread of the moment to moment here. Yeah, I mean, those are the trophy. Like the mustache combined with those color swatches, they do look like they're the trophies that each one is from a kill. Yeah, no, they are color swatches. And behind me is a painting by the artist Juice Man that I purchased back in the day. But no, they're not trophies. It's a very good. That's a lovely piece of art. Thank you. Yeah, no, I really like it. If you'd be interested, it might not be for a year or two, but if you want to loan that to the Lucas Museum, we could maybe hang it on the wall. Yeah, I mean, I think that would probably be great for the artist, for Juice Man. I'm sure he would appreciate it. I don't think it. Does it tell a story? Does it tell a story? Yeah, it's actually. You want to know what it's called? It's called the Geometric King Brothers. Yeah, it's like a story. Like it. I just want to point out for people who are watching along that Order 66 is being carried out. The Jedi are being slaughtered. Tragic. And yeah, it doesn't. The Wookiees are roaring. Yoda looks angry, but also disappointed. Do you feel like George? And it looks like Anakin has gone fully bad. He's a bad guy now. George, do you find that this CGI, in your opinion, has aged well? Yeah, this looks fantastic. The younglings are about to be killed. I'm glad that Chris Gethard left the stream with his young son, because this is a scene. I can't even look. To happen. Hey, George, what is the... Well, I cut away from it. Oh, boy. And C-3PO says, "Don't worry, I'm sure he'll be all right." And Padme is crying her eyes out. She's so sad, so scared. Things are really going badly in the Star Wars universe. Here's a question for you. In the background there, you see that there's these lines where all the flying ships seem to be in a traffic jam. And it seems to go against what I think would logically be the ability to use the sort of three-dimensional. It seems like it's not utilizing why we would, why flying vehicles would exist in the first place.
What do you mean?
Well, if they're all just stuck on a singular road type line, regardless.
Yeah, but why do we have laws, man? Why do we elect people to tell us what to do with our lives? None of this makes sense.
I agree.
Man, I agree. If you really think about it,
these movies are actually
the prison, man.
George, I was giving you a hard time, but I'm just so very impressed by these films. For when you made them, the technology that you're trying to use is absolutely stunning.
No, I wasn't trying. There's no such thing as that. I was doing to use.
Right. Your stream isn't the smoothest.
What? That's what my doctor tells me. But I'm a 75-year-old man. That's to be expected.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I should have expected that that's where that was going to go.
All right, that's the setup. Hold on.
And George, where?
What do you mean, my internet stream?
Yeah, it sort of cuts out mid-sentence sometimes.
Always?
Not always.
No, you said I was trying to use the technology, but as Master Yoda says, or do not.
Right.
There is no try.
There's no try.
And I did.
Yeah, that's a good point.
No, I think this movie looks beautiful. I think the effects look very real. I think this is a practical set. Sorry.
Gross.
And then we're back to a digital set, which is much better. And then there's Commander Cody, who's a fan favorite. Everyone likes Commander Cody.
What a great character.
What a great character. Commander Cody.
Very much so. So what are you guys looking forward to the most in the next 25 hours?
I mean, honestly, I really think there's going to be I think there's going to be a period where there's going to be many times where we get our second wind. I think that this right now it's 6:30, almost 6:30.
Yeah.
And so we now almost only have 24 hours left.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of story left to tell. There's a lot of story left to experience. And we have a lot of friends, a lot of interesting guests are going to drop by, and that'll make things feel very different. Also, there's going to be a point where people are waking up, and they're going to come on here, and they're going to see how we're doing. And I think that's going to be revitalizing as well. Right now, a lot of people who maybe were with us for the first portion of it have maybe decided that it's time to go to sleep for a while. They've taken a cue from Patrick Cotton, our producer.
Am I doing my math correctly? Are you guys behind schedule?
No. Right?
Wait, what do you mean? No, we can't be. We might be 2 minutes behind schedule because Watto decided to go get a water break when it was time to start Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Wait, he decided to
get at the end of this water break.
Now, when you...
Yeah, because I don't know why we couldn't just start the movie and then you go get water. Instead, you go get water, and then we're 2 minutes behind schedule.
Well, we live and we learn and we laugh and we love. Okay, George?
Well, I've got one hand in my pocket, and the other hand is making a peace sign. So I can quote Alanis Morissette just as well as you, my friend.
Now, George, where exactly are you broadcasting from? This is Skywalker Ranch. Yeah. Is it the basement?
Yeah. It's my den. My den in the basement. Yeah.
Sort of his man cave.
In Watto, where are you broadcasting from?
Yeah.
My apartment on the Upper East Side,
Yeah, not much on the walls.
New York City. No, it's been a slow move in. People go like, oh, what, you move in like a month ago? And it's like, no, like probably like 15, 16 months ago.
Yeah, certainly more than a year, I think.
It's definitely been more than a year. I mean, the months kind of blend together. It's definitely been more than a year.
And have you guys been eating a lot? Because I think that's what helps keep away the tiredness.
I had some banana bread, and also, let me ask you this, JD, because I don't know. You saw Attack of the Clones, right? And are you watching Revenge of the Sith for the first time now?
Yeah, I jumped in an hour and 30 minutes in for the first time ever. I have not seen this film.
Wow.
Right.
I have to say, my experience is that I was really excited for these movies when they came out, and my sort of expectations, what I wanted them to mean to me when I was a kid was an impossibly high bar. And so after the first two, I sort of chose to live in the mystery of not knowing what the third movie was, because I could imagine it to be whatever I wanted it to be in my own
You weren't a kid anymore. The movies weren't for you anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Well, if I may borrow a quote from a different movie franchise.
Sure.
You have chosen poorly.
So you're upset that I hadn't watched this yet?
I'm furious. I'm actually irate.
Yeah, you're not supposed to leave. These stories were not meant. You were not meant to leave decades between episodes 2 and 3.
Just between 3 and 3 and 4.
Yes, it's a saga. You're not supposed to pick and choose.
Decades between 3 and 4. I say when you leave decades. You don't say when you leave decades between. I say when you leave decades between. You're supposed to leave decades between 3 and 4.
This is the George I've heard about.
Yeah.
Or between 6 and 1, but not between 2 and 3. That's madness. Sure. But let me ask you this. Do you remember in Attack of the Clones, do you remember the scene, the romantic scene where Anakin and Padme have a romantic fruit dinner?
Yes, I remember that scene.
They eat a pear together, and you remember he uses the Force to slice it and make the fruit fly through the air?
Yeah, I remember that.
What did you think of that scene?
I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine. It was fine. Why are you bringing that up specifically?
Because we really had a good time when you brought up food, and we really had a good time when he started eating of that pear. I had a pear here, and I started eating it to sync up with the scene. And I think it might have been the highlight of this watch along.
Watto stepped away again.
Is watching.
Are we sure that his body's holding together right now?
Yeah, he's done that a lot. No, not at all. A Toydarian's body will not respond well to this kind of unnecessary stress.
Right.
Now we're getting ready for a volcano fight, which this may be the most important part of the movie for you to watch. JD, let me ask, do you have close friends that you've had disagreements with? Fights?
Yes. Yeah, my friend Connor Ratliff, we disagree a lot.
What kind of stuff?
Did you say you have fights, though?
What's that?
What kind of stuff do you disagree about, and does it reach the level of fight?
No, it's never reached the level of fight.
Do you have any friends that you've had what you say is a real fight with them?
No, not so much. Not as an adult. Maybe my best friend.
All right. Well, how about as a child?
Yeah, my best friend Mike Hart and I would have arguments and get worked up, and yeah, sure.
Well, I bet you never had a fight like the one you're about to see on a volcano planet.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I did not have a fight on a volcano as a child, so.
But I bet you never even had a fight that felt as intense as the fight that Obi-Wan Kenobi and his best friend Anakin are about to have on the volcano.
Are you trying
planet.
to convince me that this moment is unrelatable?
No, he's trying to convince you.
No, it's super relatable.
Yeah.
It's heightened. I'm hyping the scene up. Right now, see those dead children on the ground?
Yeah.
Those are the younglings. They were the Jedi children.
What's the statue?
The baby Jedis.
Yeah.
The statue?
It's a person
that was
levitating
just a
sphere of some sort.
It's like an ancient Jedi.
Got it.
Ancient Jedi statue.
Yeah.
And Palpatine has taken control of everything. And Anakin's killed all the younglings. And Obi-Wan is mad.
Have you talked about
in
the lore of the movie what decides whose little pods here in the Galactic Senate are like at the very top or the very bottom, where it seems like there isn't a good sight line to the chancellors?
Right. Yeah, it's seniority.
Yeah, you have, so you don't want to discuss it.
I haven't discussed it, but that's why it's like newly elected first-term senators are going to have access to whatever slots have opened up. But as incumbents retire or are voted out in elections, they will give up their pod, and then other senators will sort of like upgrade to a better pod, and then whatever's left will go to the newly elected representatives. Right. It's a fair system. It's not perfect, but and I actually do wish that there were more scenes in which we explained that, but we just didn't have time. It's already over 2 hours long. But it would be nice to have a scene where they explained how people got which pods.
Yeah.
Now
all right.
George,
we are almost at time. We're almost at time for our. You take the lead on this one, Watto.
Okay. So, JD, you are an artist. You have worked on many TV shows at this point.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the frustration?
List some of your credits, JD. JD, list a few of your TV credits.
We did Chris Gethard show, My Brother and Me, The President show.
Good show.
A handful of things like that.
Cop show.
Yep. I forgot about the Lexus web series Cop show. Thank you, Watto.
El Studio original. The point is, imagine if you made 39 episodes of a TV show and it was never released. 39 completely finished, edited, mixed.
This is a Star Wars Detours thing.
Yes. Do you know about Star Wars Detours? The fully animated, funny comedy show that George Lucas self-financed, fully produced, jokes, cartoon versions of Star Wars characters, handed off to Disney. Disney has kept it on a shelf. No one has seen it.
You know, I have a friend who was really invested in trying to figure out what happened to Star Wars Detours, but I also believe that same friend would not watch all of Star Wars Detours. There's no way that friend would get through all of Star Wars Detours.
Well, here's what we're saying. We're saying,
well,
and I can't speak for your friend, but
here's what we're
saying. Is at the 39th minute of every hour, we're telling people to tweet #May Detours be with you at Disney Plus to demand that they release all of Star Wars Detours. And if they do so, we will do a live stream watching all of Star Wars Detours.
We absolutely will.
I think that's smart. And if they do it in the next 24 hours, will you add it to the very end of this?
Take a break. We don't think you're outsmarting us here. We would take a break.
We want to be fresh. We want to be fresh and ready to laugh.
Bright-eyed and bushy.
And not. We don't want to do. It would be a disservice to watch Detours in a condition where we feel close to death.
Yes.
But
it's trending number 25. Logan Ferry says it's trending number 25.
Wow.
Here's the thing. I'm starting to see that certain algorithms are picking up hashtag may detours be with you. And now bots are starting to tweet it, which means we're on to something.
Oh, that means the droids are with us.
Yes.
And it's trending number 25. That is the same number of hours we have left in this live stream.
Wow.
So ostensibly then, as you progress, you will rank higher in the trends.
That's the goal.
Yes. And we're trending that now with no one awake.
That's true.
Or not no one. Maybe people are watching us in other parts of the world. But,
right. I was saying we might
in our time
be
zone
somewhere a different part of the world. But I'm looking here. I'm just looking at the top trending subjects for Manhattan, where Watto lives. And we have Skywalker Saga. May the Fourth be with you. The Clone Wars. Dave Filoni. May the Force. I mean, I think
those are all our trends.
Single-handedly made Star Wars a trending subject across the planet.
Now, okay, we are headed towards. We are headed towards, I think, a very important part.
Wow.
Of the movie.
Wow.
I think we're gearing up towards the big friendship fight on the volcano planet. We're close to it, right?
George, have you had any friendship fights in your life?
Have I?
Yeah. You've been attacked by yawns in the past 5 or 6 minutes.
Yep.
Because I'm just waiting for this volcano fight to get me excited again. Yeah, I've had fights at various points, you know. I wasn't happy when Francis made Apocalypse Now, because that was always supposed to be my project.
Right.
And you know, there have been times where I've been, you know, I can get irritated and frustrated. I certainly was irritated when Disney tricked me out of my movies and then wouldn't take any of my story ideas.
Right.
So, you know, even though I'm friends with all those folks, you know, I'll admit I'm not perfect. Sometimes I become very, very angry.
That's very magnanimous of you. Watto?
Watto?
Have you had any friendship fights?
Yeah. I mean, you know, even my greatest friend of all time, we would have knockdown, drag out fights, you know? And it pains me to say that because I miss him so much now. You know, I feel like if he were still alive today, I would promise to never argue with him ever again. But unfortunately, Jeffrey Epstein is gone, and there's nothing I can do about it. You know, we disagreed on a great many subjects.
Yeah, are you in the Flight Manifest?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, no. To be fair, look, I'm on the Travel Manifest because I spent a lot of time on Little St. James Island. I flew myself, though. Baby, I don't need to get on no private jet. I got these bad boys.
Right.
Here on my back.
Now, was there pretty bad stuff happening on that island? Like, culturally, we...
No, bad stuff. What are you talking? It was a great time. It was a party island. What bad stuff was happening?
Sure.
I had a ball.
Sure. Is this the first time you've defended Jeffrey Epstein on this live stream? No.
Absolutely not. No.
It's been happening all night, JD, and you walked right into it.
Yeah. Probably about the 30th time it's happened.
Sure.
All right. Now, Padme is about to have...
That's canon.
Yeah.
Padme is about to have really the final conversation of her marriage. This is a scene about her marriage coming to an end.
This is like the man punching the hole in the wall. You know, this is them having the final marriage story fight.
She says, Obi-Wan told me terrible things. He says, what things? He says, he said you turned to the dark side, that you killed younglings.
Fake news.
And now Anakin's like, Obi-Wan is trying to turn you against me. Now, we said in Attack of the Clones, when he told her that he killed women and children, that was a red flag.
Yes.
And that she should have gone out that door.
Absolutely.
The second he started talking about how he killed all the women and children.
Yes.
But she loved him. She loved him, and as a result, she was blind to the clear dangers of what has ended up being an incredibly toxic marriage.
Right.
And now she's even offering him a way out now, even after finding out that he killed younglings. She is willing to give him another chance. But he is too
he's gone.
Wrapped up. He's too wrapped up in his own business.
He's gone. Watto, George, have you ever been too wrapped up in your own business to escape a situation which people around you were trying to help you out of?
When people us and we could not
see it
get out of our own way.
Yeah.
Good question.
It's a great question. I kind of, when we were making Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, I admit it, I got a little bit wrapped up because, it was a digital sandbox and we were trying to see what we were capable of. And in my pursuit to make something educational that was also innovative, maybe I made something that was less entertaining than it should have been.
Right.
And that's on me. Because that wasn't my priority. I was too invested in the areas that my own curiosity was leading me towards. And in the process, I may have delivered a television program that was more work than fun. And for that, all I can say is, what do you want from me? I've already made plenty of fun things. You don't have to watch it. Leave me alone.
Right. Watto, have you ever gotten in your own way?
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about this already in this stream, but I took a shift as a night guard outside Jeffrey's prison cell because I thought it would help him. And then I fell asleep, and then, everything went to seed over there. That's the first example that comes to mind. What else?
Right.
Here's an interesting.
I skipped my wife's birthday in order to attend the fire festival.
Right. And that ended up not being...
It was not great. It was a disappointing weekend. But I feel like she was saying to me, like, I'm not even angry at you. I just think we would have a great time together. And I was like, no, I'm going to have a much better time at the fire festival. And she was right. Because, what ended up happening was, concert ends up being a total wash, and also she serves me with divorce papers, so that's a lose-lose.
Yeah, no,
I did
absolutely.
see Blink-182, and I was single by the end of that weekend.
Yeah,
actually,
100%.
When you frame it that way, it sounds a little bit good.
I know you also were an early investor in Theranos, correct?
Absolutely. My portfolio has been a little rocky these last couple of years. I put in major cash at Theranos, Quibi. I have 25% of Quibi wrapped up in my finances. Trying to think of some other company. Juicero. You remember Juicero, the company that made the juice machine? Yeah.
Juicero. Yeah.
That was a lot of. I kept that thing afloat for a long time, for too long maybe.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Guys, Yoda is about to fight Palpatine, and Ben and Anakin are already fighting. And things are about to get pretty intense.
Yeah.
Because as you can see, Emperor Palpatine, his eyes have gotten real weird.
Yes.
And Yoda is fed up. He's tired of this. And now Palpatine's using those dark side energy bolts.
Yeah.
Which, when that happens, that's serious business.
Quick question. What inspired you to have the shot that was the point of view of the energy bolts? Just there. Because for a moment we cut
What
to
inspired me?
the point of view of the lightning.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because in some ways I like to think the Force is a character in
Right.
these movies, and every now and then we want to see, it's sort of like when my buddy Steve made Jaws. Every now and then you're seeing it from the point of view of the
Right.
shark.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that'll be a fun little thing to throw in. Is I'll do one of those shark things, and so I maybe did it just to kind of amuse my pal. But also, I think it's fun for the audience to, in that moment, be able to imagine they are the dark side energy
Right.
bolts. It's a fleeting moment; it passes. Because I don't want the audiences to get too. That's pretty fun when Yoda knocks Palpatine over his office chair.
Oh, so much.
And he goes butt up. He goes butt up into the air, and at that point, he's really made Palpatine look foolish.
Well, it's also, there's a distance between the way his skin looks and the way his body behaves.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's often true. That's often true of people.
Yeah, but in this one, it's particularly interesting, just because he sometimes moves with the creakiness of an old man, but other times is doing tumbles and jumps that are impressively nimble.
Yeah, he's a complicated character.
Yeah, definitely. That's sort of the light side, dark side within us all, is our body's ability to tumble and do acrobatics, and our skins just.
Now, let me ask you this question: the sun has come up where you are. Yes, the sun is coming up.
Yeah, the sun has come up.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about us being at different time zones, is that it looks like the sun is fully up where you are. I imagine the sun is coming up where I am at a certain point later.
Yeah. Now, the fact that the sun is up, is there a little bit of just primal animalistic dread that you feel from that, because you know that your chance to sleep at night is over?
Mm-hmm.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yes.
That you've fully skipped it, and now you're going to the next day, and in fact, night will come again, and you'll still have to be watching these films and discussing them.
And day will come again. I mean, we will see another sunrise before we are allowed to sleep again.
Right.
No, I don't think so, because I think when we get to nighttime again, I think the path ahead of us will be so small compared to what we have behind us that I think there'll be some relief in that. Just right now, just so happy to be watching these lightsaber battles because they truly are exciting. They're so acrobatic and they're so thrilling, and there's real emotional high stakes because these guys were pals. They were best buddies, and now they're fighting and they're angry, and he just kicked him in the face, and he didn't feel bad about it at all. Imagine kicking your friend in the face with your boot.
Awful.
And not feeling bad about it.
Yeah.
I can barely.
And Yoda and Chancellor Palpatine, they were work colleagues. They were never the best of friends by any stretch of the imagination, but they had a cordial relationship and they could work together to get things done. And now they're making an absolute mess of the Senate. They're destroying public property with no disregard for the fact that repairing this damage and replacing these fixtures is something that is going to be, the expense of that is going to be passed along to the citizens of Coruscant.
Excuse me, I sneezed.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like there's a lot of metaphor in this scene because they're literally tossing they're using the seats of the Senate as weapons against each other.
The seats of power, they're often called. And what's more powerful than the Force?
I wish I could see the point of view of the electricity here.
Well, maybe you'll get your wish again.
Do I get my wish again?
Oh. I don't want to ruin the surprise, but look, Yoda falls down.
Because like you're trying to distract from the fact that you don't yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's ouch.
I like it when Palpatine is kind of like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's fun. And now look at these two friends. They're fighting, and everything is erupting around them.
Yeah.
It's another factory. On the volcano planet. There are so many factories in these movies, and what I like about this factory is it looks like the staff has been allowed to go home because of the virus.
Yes.
They're not being forced to come into work, and presumably there will be financial assistance given to the people who normally work at the volcano factory until it's safe for them to come into work again, because on a normal work day, the employees of this volcano factory are probably, within 2 to 3 feet of one another. And in close quarters like that, even though heat has been said to have an effect on the virus, we just don't know.
Right. Now, did you guys see those photos of all the people at Canto Bight that were just hanging out without masks on?
Yes, I find it disgusting.
Because
it's horrible.
Really, there's a classism going on here.
I was going to say, it shows you how much of coronavirus is really a class issue and not a health issue. I mean, it is a health issue, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, you can't. Public health issues are often tied so closely to issues of what someone is able to, what kind of lifestyle a person is able to afford. It's impossible
so many
to.
Of the people who are living carelessly now, helping to spread the disease, are the people who think, "Oh, I can afford healthcare later. I can afford the treatment should things get bad."
Exactly. George, did you send your home staff home, or are they still working for you? Do you need them?
I'm retired, and the museum staff are all sheltering at home.
No, I mean the staff at your home, because I imagine you have a chef and a personal assistant and a personal trainer.
No one's being the only people who are here are the people who want to be here. Everybody else is allowed to do what they want.
But they are. How many people are still there, though?
Dozens.
There's dozens. Yeah.
Yeah, but they all have their own living quarters. It's pretty nice.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's good.
Now you can tell. I get the impression that Obi-Wan Kenobi is probably someone who, even at this relatively young age, is probably wants to make sure that he has health coverage. And I get the sense that Anakin is the type who, doesn't think he's going to need it.
Right.
He'll opt out of it.
Well, I'll say this: the fact that
God forbid he suddenly finds
they're swinging on these wires above this lava says a lot about their confidence that if something goes wrong, they'll be able to get health care.
Yes.
Well, Anak's acting like someone who doesn't think that he's about to have all of his arms and legs chopped off.
Yeah. I heard one of the issues in a major way was there's just not enough Bacta tanks for the people who need them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think George made a good point. Anakin is functioning with the arrogance of a man who assumes that he is going to make it out of this situation with 4 limbs.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That sort of privilege. It's privilege. It really is.
And of course, it is because, he was able to get a test for midichlorians as a child. And you're wondering, how was it that he was able to have access to a midichlorian test?
Yes. Absolutely.
This testing is the key.
God.
Look at them just surfing around on these little lava flows. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
They're just 2 cool dudes.
I heard about these
surfing along on lava flows.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's about to get nasty between these two.
This is really.
Oh
God, Anakin looks so evil. My little Annie, it's so sad.
Little Annie. Oh.
Not Danny, not my little Danny.
But of course, this has been foreshadowed from the beginning, because what did he say when he left his mom? He said, "Yippee!"
Yippee!
And then when he killed people, he said, "Yay!"
He said, "Yippee!"
Now watch this, JD. Watch this, JD. Watch this part. He warns him. He says, "Don't try it," and he does it. And he leaves Ben Kenobi with no choice but to cut off all of his arms and legs.
It's the only option.
And now Anakin.
Wait, what?
Anakin is furious. He's just a crawling torso.
Wait.
Yeah.
I was not aware that this happened.
Anakin tries to
Yes.
jump over him, and as he's in the air,
Tries to jump over him.
Obi-Wan goes like this.
Yeah, no, I saw it.
In one fell swoop, he chopped off his arms and legs, and now he's yelling at him. And watch this. He walks away and leaves him there. He doesn't do a mercy kill.
No.
He just leaves him there, and he says, "I hate you," which I think is a great line of dialogue, because he does. At this point, he truly does hate him, because he chopped off his arms and legs, and he's burning because the lava is so hot.
And we also we know at this point that fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads
Watch,
to suffering.
he's catching fire. He's catching fire, and he hates it. And
I have
Obi-Wan
so
is
many
like,
anatomical questions about this.
he's on fire, and we tried to get the rights to the Bruce Springsteen song "I'm on Fire," but we couldn't. Just in case we wanted to go that direction.
And
now he's burning.
Carlo is on fire.
And Obi-Wan
couldn't use it.
Class act. Obi-Wan Kenobi walks away and leaves him there burning.
This is a disgusting ending to this film.
Thank you.
No, George.
And
George,
so
this is how you
now when you watch episode 4, A New Hope, and you meet Obi-Wan Kenobi living out in the desert, and he says things like, "I used to be friends with your father," you'll know that the last time he saw his father was when he was catching on fire after he chopped off his arms and legs. And he just left him there screaming, "I hate you," and burning. Now, this is why I was asking you if you'd ever had a fight with a friend, because that is a fight with a friend. And now they leave the volcano planet, and he assumes that Anakin is just going to burn to death in the lava. And he's like, "I feel bad about what I did. I left my friend to burn in lava. Ugh, that was a tough choice." But meanwhile, Annie didn't die. He's just moaning softly. And he's just like, "What a day it has been."
Look how bad he looks.
And he's never looked worse.
He's never
This kid used to be dynamite. This kid used to have it all. He had the looks, he had the charm, he had the skill.
He was saying yippee.
But he's not. But don't count him out, because guess what? Looky at what is about to happen to him. His old pal, the Emperor, shows up and says he's still alive. And he says, "Get a medical capsule immediately." And these dummies, they do it because they do what they're told. And the Emperor says, "Well, let's see what we have here." Yikes.
The closed caption for me says "moaning softly" throughout this.
Yes.
Yeah. The Emperor is moaning softly because this is what he gets off on.
This is such a disgusting ending to this series, George.
Nobody said that life was pretty. I don't know what to tell you. Bad guys are bad and good guys are good. And that's how it is.
So the character...
life was going to be this way? Huh?
Your job's a joke. You're broke. Your love life's DOA.
So you're telling me that
I would
second gear.
That the character that we start with, Anakin, who is this adorable child that we see pod racing in the first movie,
Right.
He's now a limbless, scalded corpse.
Yeah.
Barely clinging to life, not even given the dignity of a death.
He's had a rough ride. He did this after he murdered all the younglings. He killed a bunch of children.
Yeah, which also I think is a disgusting decision.
Okay, well, make up your mind.
I think they can all be disgusting decisions. I don't think that there's. This is stop showing the
now
burnt corpse of Anakin Skywalker.
Now the medical droid is saying that Padme, Queen Amidala, is dying because she's lost the will to live, and she's given birth to these babies because she's carrying twins. And Yoda is like, twins? Oy, oy, oy. And Ben Kenobi, he's still pretty shaken by what he did, leaving his friend there to catch fire and fall into the lava. And now watch. Now you're going to watch the making of the ultimate bad guy. None other than Mr.
Stop showing this.
Vader. No, we have to. He's going to be made into a Darth Vader. We're going to put this bag of meat and bones into a Darth Vader suit. Meanwhile, she's going to give birth to twins. And that little robot doctor is going to show her, look at the babies we just delivered out of you in this weird little setup we got. And there's Luke, and he's
not great CG. They don't connect.
What don't connect?
The babies they're visibly shaking in and out of frame lock.
What do you mean frame lock?
Don't worry about it, George.
Maybe they're shaking with the power of the Force. You ever think about that?
Yeah, they have the Force, you dummy. Dumb idiot. They have the Force.
Don't call me a dumb
frame
idiot.
lock.
Hey, George.
Well, don't bring this. Don't throw this frame lock in my face. Nobody cares about your tricks. This is storytelling 101.
I truly didn't know that this is how these movies end. And
he's putting on a Darth Vader helmet, and you see point of view of him getting the helmet put on. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is movie magic getting ready to happen. And I got to get him ready. We hear that breathing, that Darth Vader breathing. Now I'm awake. All right. Luke and Leia are in play. They're babies, and it's going to take them a while before they're in any kind of condition to be part of the story. But she is still thinking about her husband, that they're still good in him. She's so sad that medically she can't live.
So she's just had 2 beautiful children.
No, but with a husband who's turned into a cad, quite frankly.
This is how she dies. She just closes her eyes after breathing heavily.
She closes her eyes and she dies.
This is George. Don't match it up with the. Don't match it up. Don't match the toy up with the movie.
And now he wants to know what happened to his wife. That's what he wants to know.
Oh no, what's happening?
Okay. Where's my wife? He wants to know if she's safe. He's still a good husband after all is said and done. He's like, is she all right?
Where is she?
He's still, and he lies and says, it seems like you killed her. He says, I couldn't have.
What? I couldn't have.
Vader moaning. That's a great little subtitle.
And look, he's shaking everything. Right. He's breaking everything. He's squeezing everything. Oh no. He's breaking free of the restraints.
Why
no.
No. No.
This movie just gets better and better.
George, this is a rough ending, man.
Hey, it's a tragedy. Hamlet has a rough ending too. I got news for you.
Yeah.
So does Macbeth, King Lear, all the greats. Now a little bit of happy ending. Baby Leia is going to get to be a princess on a planet that will be destroyed in the next movie.
Everyone that she knows and loves.
And you didn't have a problem with that. And you didn't have a problem with that. The destruction of an entire planet. You ate it up like it was chocolate pudding on Christmas morning.
You laughed like it was a Bernie Mac special.
I feel like
you laughed like it was the original Kings of Comedy.
I feel like you're channeling a lot of your aggression about this situation at me, George.
Nope, you're the one who's.
You're the one who said this ending was too rough.
Yep, you are fake news.
I never said.
You are fake news.
Now, I feel like you have realized this is an opportunity to express emotion at someone or something, and so you're jumping on the bandwagon now.
JD.
Hey, we're missing out on some cool stuff. Yoda says he's been talking with the ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn.
What?
From Phantom Menace.
Why?
Talking to ghosts? That's some good news. And now Jimmy Smits is going to adopt baby Princess Leia, and he says, let's erase C-3PO's memory. And he says, oh, no, which is a funny joke.
There's just There's just so much work being done to
now
make
look, a funeral.
You're doing
funeral.
so much work to be fake news.
Don't.
Now look, the queen is dead. Queen Amidala is dead. And get ready. Look at this. Look at this.
So
sad Jar Jar. Sad Jar Jar. Jar Jar's sad because she's dead. There's a lot of emotion packed into that one brief appearance in this movie. And there's Cy Bibble.
Keisha Castle-Hughes plays the new Queen of Naboo. She, at the time, had just got nominated for an Academy Award and has 0 lines of dialogue in this movie.
Right.
And now we go to the Imperial.
It's not
starships.
No.
No,
it's just beginning.
Because it's only just beginning. The saga has only just begun.
Keep on saying what
they're starting to build the Death Star. Look at this. They're building the Death Star. It's going to take decades to finish the Death Star.
George, why are you doing all of this?
Because
it's only just beginning.
We know.
This is the story. And now, meanwhile, in the snowy mountains of Alderaan.
There's more scenes?
Of course, because you got to show.
Of course, it's only just beginning.
I got to show you where these babies ended up.
No, you don't.
Otherwise, everyone's going to be asking, where did those babies end up? Well, one of them ended up on Alderaan, and she's now Princess Leia Organa, because her father, Bail Organa, adopted her because he wanted a daughter, but no thanks. I'll pass on the son. I just want a little girl in my mountain city home. And there's Leia, Princess Leia. Meanwhile, on Tatooine.
Show some respect, JD. You're looking at royalty. You're in the presence of royalty.
Stop being mean.
Now look what happens.
Fake news.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to drop this baby off on Darth Vader's home planet where his mother died a slave, and he's going to change his name from Obi-Wan Kenobi to Ben Kenobi, so no one can ever find him.
That's the cleanup that they do.
Oh, the Ben Kenobi.
Yeah. Now I had a scene originally where somebody that was helping him out was like, "All right, I got your new identity right here," and he's giving him his passport, his driver's license, and it says Ben Kenobi, and he's like, "From now on, you're not Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're Ben Kenobi, and you live here where Anakin Skywalker used to live." And that's the movie. Written and directed by George Lucas. May the Force be with you. And now there's only 2 more movies until we're at Star Wars Episode 4. We are making good time. We're making great time here. We got through the Gungan trilogy, the 3 movies that were prequels And now we've only got 2 more prequels until we get to the middle trilogy.
Yes.
And then we have the Ewok movies, and then we have Return of the Jedi, and then we have.
Wait, are you doing the Ewok movies?
Yeah, of course.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that's why it's 14 movies. The next movie is Solo, and then Rogue One, and then A New Hope, and then Empire, and then the holiday special, and then Empire, and then Caravan of Courage, and then Battle for Endor, and then Return of the Jedi, and then Force Awakens, and then The Last Jedi, and then The Rise of Skywalker, and then we're done, and that's the story. It's just one story, elegantly told until the very end, where we'll forgive them because they don't know. They didn't know what they were making.
Maybe I'll have to check in during Battle from Endor because I have a lot of questions as to why the idea of witches and wizards didn't maintain through the rest of the Star Wars lineage.
I'm gonna refill Watto while you ask your fake news questions.
Watto, this is not a good look for you right here.
Fake news.
Well, I mean, we are. Oh boy, we are. How far into the saga are we now? Okay, now, interestingly, it's now saying that, and this is interesting because I'm on Disney Plus, and it's saying I may also like Star Wars: A New Hope Episode 4, and this is something we noticed earlier, which is that Disney Plus has changed the titles from these movies because the title of the movie is Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. But the way they titled them, they put the episode part in parentheses after the rest of the title, as if it's a secret. So instead of saying Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope, they say Star Wars: A New Hope Episode 4, as if they're ashamed that these are told in an episodic fashion. Right. I'm not ashamed of it, Now, I'm curious to see here. What do we have next? We have, I gotta see if we're caught up on our schedule or not. So it's 6:17. No, it's 7:17. And 7:30 a.m. is when we're scheduled. Oh, Patrick Cottonaro is awakened from his nap.
Ah, sleepy boy.
Where were you?
You
said you were going to wake up for Revenge of the Sith, and then you went away.
Here's what happened. My phone was on Do Not Disturb, which I didn't realize. So my alarm did not go off. But the funniest part was I was not even asleep. I couldn't fall asleep for like the longest time. I fell asleep maybe half hour ago.
All right. Well, you missed the best half hour of the trilogy so far, which is the volcano fight.
JD,
at the end of it?
I mean,
he was horrified. He was horrified by what he saw. Which is the appropriate response.
Shocked that this is how this film ended.
Yeah. What did you think that movie was going to be, or did you know? Generally,
I didn't know. I left it all these years as a mystery box that I could pour my hopes and dreams into, and the reality of it was different than I had imagined. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate what, George, you were trying to do. I don't think it was the ending for me.
Sure.
Well, it's a children's movie. It's not. That's a fair criticism, but these movies are for children. So if you didn't like it, it's because you're not a child.
That is a good point.
It ends with a limbless man burning to death.
All right. Well, let's not judge people for their struggles.
Okay. Yeah.
We all have different challenges in life. We all have various areas where we fall short, or areas where we have struggles and difficulties, and we deal with it in different ways. And that's what these movies are about. They're about the situations in life where we, sometimes we're the hero, sometimes we're the villain. And, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's just rough.
Some things will never change.
That's just the
way it is. But don't you believe it?
George, do you have windows in your den?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can see when the sun is fully risen.
Yeah, but I'm in a different time zone than you all are.
I know your Skywalker Ranch is inexplicably only an hour behind New York, correct?
No, I'm several hours behind.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Wow.
I'm 3 hours behind you.
Right.
Why would you make an assumption that I was 1 hour behind based on absolutely nothing that I've ever said?
I forgot. I didn't do my time zone math correctly.
George, what was the most exciting thing that I missed?
Well, I liked watching JD freak out at almost everything that happened in the last 15 minutes of that movie. Because that's the reaction you want. You're not supposed to like it.
It provoked the reaction.
I'm getting lit up in the comments here.
Why?
People shaming me for having issues with the ending of this film, I think.
Oh boy. JD hates burnt boys. That's what he said. Ethan Runt says that.
Okay. Someone said that I hate that the Jedi weren't racially pure, and that's certainly does not factor into any of my issues with the end of this film.
Well, Jeremy Frankly is nothing if not frank. He telegraphs that in his screen name.
That's very
he calls it like he sees it. And now I believe we need to transfer away from Disney Plus, sadly, to go for the only Netflix portion of the watch along.
Oh, wait a second. Oh,
yeah.
Who's this? Who's our delicate prince clocking 4 hours of sleep?
No, joke's on you. Like 30 minutes of sleep, maybe.
What are you talking about?
Guys, my body started hurting.
You have so much more time to go.
I know.
I think Watto's body's not going to hold up.
I don't either.
I'm not feeling great, guys. It's getting
just even the subtle pressure on Watto's stomach, I think, is not going to be good for him.
Oh boy,
guys, we're almost halfway done.
That's not true.
Not at all.
That's not true at all.
No shenanigans on that. There's math. There's hard math here that says otherwise.
I do a 12-hour podcast.
Gethard, I tried to get them to watch Mandalorian. They said no.
Yeah. I think you should do some sort of stretch goal to add Mandalorian.
I wanted to add the Clone Wars movie, and they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, all of you guys are fucking maniacs. George, can I throw something out for a second?
Absolutely.
So I went over here to the Netflix, and I'm looking at the options for Solo, and there are two titles. Solo and their Solo Spanish version.
Ooh.
Are they the same runtime?
Let's see. 2 hours, 14 minutes. 2 hours, 14 minutes.
I wonder if George threw something in the Spanish language version.
Is it the Lord and Miller cut, George?
We could watch the Spanish version. We could mix it up and watch the Spanish version.
I mean, that's fine if you want to do that. I'm also seeing there are other Netflix titles called Solo.
And you just are thinking maybe we watch one of those instead?
Well, there's one. I'll read you the summaries of these and see what we think. One of them is only an hour and 30 minutes, so we would cut a significant chunk off of our viewing time. And the summary is: in a remote area of the Canary Islands, a surfer falls off a cliff. Fighting to survive, he reflects on his life and past romance based on true events. And then there's another thing called Solo that's longer. It would add 15 minutes to our viewing time. 4 disparate lives: a gangster, a student, a veterinarian, and a soldier are evocatively connected to elements of earth, fire, wind, and water. I mean, it doesn't sound bad.
Here's the thing that I think Watto could maybe figure out. George, does this happen for you when you search solo? Is the third thing that come up the movie Richie Rich?
No, that's the fourth thing that comes up, and I don't know why.
Watto, do you know what the connective thread that would mean when you search solo that Richie Rich comes up?
It's coming up lower for me. It's coming up, 36, 9, 10th, or 11th, but it is on that screen. It is curious. Let's see. Billionaire Richie Rich is a kid who had it all, yet he has no playmates. It sounds
He's
like
a loner. He's a loner.
He has no people, JD.
Yeah. There should be a prequel to this movie where we find out
That's not
how he got his name.
That's not how this Netflix search works.
No, it is. Actually, it is. And you're
It
wrong.
actually is.
It is, and you're wrong.
All right. I'll be back in a second.
George, where are you going?
I'm going to the restroom.
Wow.
George.
Do a stream reset because we have to do that now.
Okay.
We have to do the stream reset?
Good time for us
Great.
to. You guys have the second link. You can go ahead and click on that whenever. And to the audience, we're going to go down for a minute or two.
right.
And we'll be back soon.
We'll be right back.